from Malwarebytes here. Today I'm going to share with you 5 tips of how you can protect your iPhone from being hacked and also how to spot it and avoid it. So while iPhones, as we know, are pretty secure, no device is unhackable. Your iPhone can be broken into. The consequences can be dire. For instance, identity theft, destruction of your data, financial fraud, all these kinds of unpleasant consequences can result from a smartphone being hacked. Here are some ways your iPhone can be hacked and how you can actually prevent it. So the first one is shoulder surfing. So this is a means where somebody can peer over your shoulder and see exactly what you're entering into your phone. Hackers actually even use their own phone to record the gestures and the keystrokes that you're using when logging into an account. The second one is unsecured Wi-Fi. So if you are connecting to the internet via a public Wi-Fi point, even though the risk is quite low and it's necessarily not particularly dangerous connecting to these points, it is possible for information to be intercepted by criminals. So this might include information that could be used to hack your phone. It could include them taking your passwords, your PIN numbers, and possibly as well setting up a honeypot trap. Wi-Fi access points can be set up by hackers for the purpose of harvesting data. So it may be possible for them to use your information to take over your own phone. Number 3 is unsecured or malicious apps. Now, Apple Store is supposed to be fully checked to ensure that no harm comes to you when you download an application. But every so often, a malicious app, it does slip through the gap. It does happen. We've seen it many, many times. And malicious apps, they can steal data and they can be used to take over your phone as well. Some applications may not actively may have been created to be with malice in mind, but it does introduce security risks. And the greater the risks, especially if you use a jailbreak phone that's running an app that has not been approved by Apple. So very, very dangerous. The fourth one is biometric hacks. So in some older phones where the operating system hasn't been updated, it is possible to actually circumnavigate Apple's Touch ID and bypass the lock screen by waking up Siri and by telling her to read your emails, text messages, and other private information. So this could conceivably be used along with other techniques to break into your phone. And it's also possible, but if rather elaborate, to create a copy of somebody's fingerprint and use it to open older iPhones that use Touch ID. In some tests, it appears that even Face ID can be circumnavigated by wearing a mask that resembles the user. Crazy it may sound. Number 5, and the last one on this list, is phishing and social engineering. By far the most popular vector for the bad actors. So almost inevitably, security systems, all of them in this world, they can't protect your phone if you give away your passwords or other login information. Hackers are very adept at creating fake emails, as we know, to trick you into visiting phishing sites, clever copies of trusted websites that steal your information or your credit card information through HTTPS secured applications. You might also be tricked into telling somebody your password if, for instance, say an Apple consultant rings up and says that somebody's trying to access your account and they need your password. You know, all these social and phishing engineering attacks ultimately rely on the user and the user's trust in what the person is saying. So be aware of the scams out there so you don't fall prey of them. And just to summarize, how to protect your phone. Many attacks require physical access to your phone. So if you can make sure that nobody else can steal it, of course, or use it while you're not looking, it's much harder for a phone to be hacked that way. It's important to keep your iPhone's password on and other information used to unlock private. You don't write down your password and don't leave it lying around. Finally, you should always avoid an iPhone that's been jailbroken. So this is one that's been cracked open by a hacker and they're all running unauthorized software. So this is dangerous and it leaves your iPhone vulnerable to malicious apps. So be very, very aware of that. Have a great day. Thanks ever so much for your time. Bye now.